How's it going, YouTube? This is FourthStarTCG, and welcome back to my first TCG Online video in the 2016-17 standard format. This is going to be a very exciting format. Not a lot of sets in there right now, but of course we'll be talking about the meta and going over my first deck list. There are all sorts of decks that I have planned to show off for you guys. We got a Mega Ray deck list, a very strong deck in the next format. And I have been going over a couple 2016-17 standard decks. They haven't been played in the format yet, but you can find those videos in my in my Pokemon TCG Online playlist, which will be linked in the video description below. So as you can tell from the title and thumbnail, the deck we are going to be going over today is Rainbow Road, the Xerneas from Breakthrough, the attack Rainbow Force for 1 fairy and a double colorless, does 10 damage plus 30 more damage for each different type of Pokemon on your bench. So this is a very good, when it first came out, people didn't think much of it, but then dual types came out in Steam Siege, and it has become a very big, very hyped up deck list for the next format. You can hit very high numbers with non-EX attackers, which is always great. You can play all sorts of techs in this deck, which are very good. I've built this deck list specifically so that everything in this deck list can do something, aside from Volcanion. But everything in this deck list can do something, can hit for damage if you need it to. These aren't just bench sitters aside from Volcanion. So let's get into this deck build. First off, we have 4 copies of the Rainbow Force Xerneas. You're really going to want to run 4. You want to get into them. You want to be powering up multiple Xerneas at once. This is just the best way, I think, to build this deck list. 3 is not enough. I tried running it with 3. It's not enough. You don't draw into them early enough, and it just doesn't work out. So 4 copies of Xerneas, very good. You usually want to start with this or a Joltik, because the Joltik has free retreat. And we'd run some 2-1 lines in this. I feel like the 2-1 lines are really useful because they make it so that you draw into your basics earlier. You can get those turn 1 or turn 2, and then you can evolve them later on. You won't need that Bisharp until you've got a Pawniard down. And then you're adding 1 type only, but it's very good. The dual types make the damage output so good. If you have all 3 dual types out on your bench, that is 6 dual types times 3. That's 190 damage just with all 3 dual types on your bench. You can hit 190 with 3 dual types, which is just crazy. And normally you won't have all of them out, but you'll have stuff like Carbink and Shaman down. So the reason we play stuff like Bisharp and Galvantula and Volcanion over stuff like Azumarill and Shiftry is because of the ease of use and their versatility. So first off, we play 2-1 line of Pawniard and Bisharp. Bisharp is in this deck, again, because it's a dual type, and also because of Retaliate, which takes 1 colorless energy, and I think it's, I don't know what the exact thing is, but it's like, it does, I think it's 30 plus another 60 if one of your Pokemon was knocked out this turn. I think it does 90 if one of your Pokemon was knocked out this turn, which is very good. 90 for 1 colorless energy is fantastic. We can use that with our Fairy energy, which we run 7 of in this deck. We also have 1 copy of Carbink. It's another type on our bench, and it also has the ability Safeguard. We can throw it up to stall versus EX decks. You're going to have to find a way to get around it. It won't let you win games against EX decks because you only play 1, but it can buy you a couple turns, which is very important. Next up, we run a 2-1 line of Joltik and Galvantula. Galvantula is Lightning and Grass type, which is again very good, and the attack Double Thread does 30 damage to 2 of your opponent's benched Pokemon, and you apply weakness and resistance to the bench. This is really good versus Greninja Break. They can get rid of your Xerneases very easily and very quickly. They can knock out your dual types. They can Lysander your Volcanion. Your Greninja Break matchup is not very good. But if you can get out that Galvantula early, you can Double Thread. It knocks out Froakie. It will 2-shot little two-shot Frogadier and stuff like that. So this double threat can really help you out versus really any deck that's weak to either grass or lightning. So that's very useful, can be used in a pinch. And the only dual type that we have that is sort of just a bench sitter is Volcanion EX. No fire energy, you're never going to be using Steam Up, you're never going to be using Volcanic Heat. Its job is to sit on the bench and do nothing. And then we play 2 Shaman EX just to round out the deck for consistency. 1 copy of Escape Rope if we need to get out of the active in some reason. 2 Level Ball, which searches out our Pawniard, our Carbink, our Joltik, and our Galvantula. So very good ways to get those basics out for those dual types early in the game. 1 copy of Special Charge in order to shuffle back our DCEs into our deck if we need to. 1 copy of Super Rod to get back our basic energy and any Pokemon that get knocked out. 3 copies of Trainer's Mail in order to search for all of our important trainers. 4 Ultra Ball to get out our Pokemon as quickly as possible. 4 VS Seeker to get back our supporters once we use them. 1 copy of Hex Maniac, good versus stuff like Greninja Break. That's really the only reason why this deck, why it's in this deck list. Greninja is going to be a threat in the next format. It slows down stuff like Mega Ray if they can't use their Shamans. Yeah. 2 copies of Lysander. It's very important that you have 2 copies of Lysander. I feel like in any new standard deck, because it's hard, you can't just battle compressor away your Lysander and then have 4 outs to it via VS Seeker. And Lysander's just such a good card. You can bring out any Pokemon from the bench and you're able to knock it out. So yeah, stuff like knocking out Shamans with Rainbow Force, great. Find those EXs on the bench, knock them out with Rainbow Force, because you hit those numbers extremely easily. 3 copies of N, just for draw support here. 1 copy of Pokemon Ranger. Giratina really hurts this deck if you can't play your Skyfield and your DCE, so 1 copy of Pokemon Ranger can help you there. Yeah, that's just great for that. We don't play a lot of tools. We play 1 Experience Share. That's just to move around some of our energy. 2 Fighting Fury Belts, mainly for our Xerneas, and 2 copies of Floatstone, just if our Volcanion gets out in the active, a Shaman gets out in the active, a Bisharp, something like that, and we want to bring it back without committing an energy. 4 DCEs, very simple, gonna need them for Rainbow Force, and 7 copies of Fairy Energy. I don't play any Max Elixir. I feel like there's just not really much space for it in this deck list. Maybe take out the Trainer's Mail and put in a few Max Elixir, but I really just don't think that Max Elixir is that good in this deck. You're only getting 1 target for it in Xerneas. You can make it work so that you can power up a Xerneas in 1 turn, but I feel like 2 attachments is not too much to stomach. So we are going to go and get some matches here with our standard deck list in Rainbow Road. So we will look for an opponent here, and we'll get one who is probably playing Mewtwo. So that's going to be interesting. Yeah, as we are a fairly heavy energy attacker, Mewtwo probably only needs, what, like 2 energy on it to one-shot our Xerneas. Yeah, that sounds about right. So we will... Going first is really important because we get the first attachment, we can evolve into our dual types the next turn. But unfortunately we do not get to go first. Hopefully my opponent chooses quickly. Alright, come on, buddy. Alright, so they choose to go first. And we start not too well. But we do have an Ultra Ball. Not bad for just starting off. Yep, there's the Mewtwo Spirit Link. So Delinquent, we see Delinquent. We gotta be careful with that. But this is a very strong deck list for the next format, so again, very important. See what my opponent throws up there. And we will draw a card. We don't want to bench that Shaman. So it starts with a Hoopa. That's good for us. That's very good for us. Very, very good for us. Gonna slow him down. He's gonna Trainer Mail here. Grab the N. Oh, if he uses that, our perfect opening hand is gone. Yep, and there goes our good opening hand. Hopefully we'll get something good off of this. We do grab the Bisharp, and he forfeits. Oh man. Well, win number 1 with the Xerneas deck. We'll take it, we'll take it. I don't know why he forfeited. He didn't get anything off of that, but... Lightning, we were playing Raichu. That's very interesting. So we'll go for heads, and we do win the coin flip this time. And we will go first. Unfortunately, we start with Volcanion, which is never good. We do have that Ultra Ball. Rare Candy, maybe Raikou Magnezone. That's another deck that really does not lose much from the standard rotation, but it does take them a little bit to get set up. So we will draw a card here. Yep, and we do see Raikou Magnezone. So we will Level Ball. We will get out a Pawniard first. I don't think the Joltik's going to be doing very much. Thankfully we don't play a lot of EXs. We see the Mareep here with the Ampharos from Steam Siege. I'm going to get rid of the Lysander and the Professor Sycamore. And we're going to grab our first Xerneas for the match. So we'll throw that down. We'll throw down a Fairy Energy. We will Trainer Mail. This Ultra Ball is looking really nice. And we can just set up our bench here. One Shaman in the deck, so one is prized. So we will pick up 6 cards here. We can Level Ball again. Unfortunately, we don't get a draw supporter off of this, which is not the best. And I am just going to Escape Rope now. And yeah, that's looking to be about it. We're set up for next turn. How many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we are hitting 160 damage already with our Xerneas. He's going to Professor Sycamore here. And Thunder Wave. Oh, he grabs the heads. Unfortunately, he's able to paralyze. There's really nothing I can do. I can attach that and I can end my turn. So that heads is really, really painful for us. We would have been able to take the knockout on this Mareep. Now he gets another turn. Hopefully he doesn't hit heads again. That would not be good. He's going to Rare Candy out into Ampharos now. We're still knocking it out, and he can't paralyze us, which is good. And I don't think he can Gigavolt this turn. But he's probably going to be able to... Oh, he's going to retreat out into the Magnemite. Yeah, because he is behind, and he's going to end. That's great. Gives us a new hand. Hopefully we can get some dual types out, and it looks like we will. Got that Fighting Fury Belt, which is going to be very helpful. I wish we could grab one of our 2 Lysanders in this deck. We do have one in the discard pile, so a VS Seeker off the top deck would be nice. We could take out a Raikou. He's going to Escape Rope here. I'm just going to promote that Joltik. We got Free Retreat. And he's going to throw out another Magnemite. Shocking Light onto the Shaman EX. Alright. So we are going to retreat into our Xerneas. We don't pull the Unfortunately, we do not pull the VS Seeker, so this is going to be difficult. I really don't want a Sycamore here, but I feel like I don't have a choice. Retaliate really won't be hitting anything too hard, and if we get another Xerneas, we don't. We got a Trainer Mail though. There's the VS Seekers we were needing. We'll grab that Ultra Ball, and we will get rid of the Professor Sycamore and the Joltik. We'll grab another Xerneas. We'll throw down that Xerneas and throw down the double colorless energy, and we will Rainbow Force for 230 damage, which is way overkill. Next turn we're going to have a Lysander on I think I'll take the Raikou, to be honest. That's really his attacker. He's going to bring out the Volcanion, which is a pain. But we do have our 2 Float Stones left in the deck. He's got the Magnezone. He's going to Shocking Light here. So we are going to Skyfield. Going to put down the Carbink here. We are going to attach to this Xerneas. Versus Seeker, we're going to have to go for Sycamore, unfortunately, hoping to grab one of our 2 Float Stones that are left in our deck, and we do grab it, which is very nice. We can retreat out into our Xerneas. I'm going to Super Rod here, bring back 3 copies of Fairy Energy. And he forfeits. I mean, there was really nothing he could do there, to be honest. So there's the power of the Xerneas deck taking down a Raikou Magnezone deck. Next up, looks like we're playing against another Mewtwo deck, and we'll go for heads, and we win the coin flip. Very nice. I think this is probably going to be the last game here. Might be a little bit of a shorter video. We get a nice start here. We got Xerneas Energy, Trainer's Mail, Skyfield, Draw Supporter. Yep, and we see the Mewtwo deck, Mewtwo Garbodor. This deck fares fairly well against Mewtwo Garbodor because you don't have many abilities shut off by Garbodor. And he does start with Trubbish, which is nice. We can attach down here. Trainer Mail, and we get the Ultra Ball. Nope, we'll take the Lysander, I guess. I mean, there's really no point taking anything because I'm just going to end. We'll Skyfield and end here. I want to get another basic out. Another Ultra Ball would be very nice. Yep, so there is an Ultra Ball. Going to Ultra Ball away an EXP share and a DCE. And we, again, only one Shaman in the deck list, which is annoying. We're going to special charge that DCE back. I play 4, so I'm not overly worried about hitting it next turn or off of the Shaman. I'm not worried about that, but I do want to get as many Pokemon down on this first turn as possible, so that's why I'm making these plays. Want to get out our Joltik so that we can evolve next turn, and I think that's all we can do. So a fairly good turn right there, I would say. He's going to throw down the Shrine of Memories and N. I've got no problem with that. We had supporters for days in our hand. That's a pretty nice hand to begin with. He's going to Mewtwo Spirit Link here and pass the turn. Not even bad. So we are going to throw this down. We are going to throw this down. We are going to get rid of our Joltik and our Hex Maniac. Unfortunately, we don't have another draw supporter, which is not the best. and we can't Ultra Ball for another Shaman because it is prized. I think the best bet would probably be to get out our Volcanion here. Let me do some quick math. 1, 2, 3. We got 4, 5, 6 types. That's going to be hitting the 170, I believe. So we'll throw down the Volcanion. I want to Float Stone the Volcanion just for the heck of it. And Rainbow Force here. 190. Very nice. That's going to be knocking out the basic Mewtwo's. Unfortunately, we don't get a draw supporter, but he's only got 4 cards in his hand, 5 after he draws, so maybe he's going to want to end. He's going to Professor Sycamore. He's going to discard Garbodor. And he is behind in this matchup. He's going to attach the DCE. If he Psychic Infinities, if he's got a Mega Mewtwo, that could hurt us. Definitely right here. I think this will knock us out. We are only 130 HP. And or 120 even. So, yeah, Psychic Infinity is going to hurt us. Any Parallel Cities as well. Get rid of the Pawniard. So he's coming back very quickly, and Psychic Infinity will knock us out. We are going to throw up the Volcanion EX. This can take a hit. We need to draw a supporter off of the top deck, and unfortunately we don't get it. We are just going to Skyfield here. We really need that draw supporter. Volcanion's going to have to take a hit for us. And he's going to Sycamore here, of course. But yeah, a VS Seeker would be great. Haven't seen any, haven't seen a Sycamore. Or we have seen it, but we haven't played it. So we go from being ahead in this game to being behind in this game very quickly. And that's what Mega Mewtwo can do to you. But looks like my opponent will probably just have to Psychic Infinity for maybe 100 here, I think. Yep, he's going to Psychic Infinity for 100 damage. We need that draw supporter. We don't get it. We have to sacrifice our Joltik here, to be honest. Yeah, just terrible draw support. Having that second Shaman prize really hurt us. He's going to Mewtwo Spirit Link, evolve into Mega Mewtwo. Just bad draws. Bad draws, my friend. Play 3N. I've played 1, so we got 2N in the deck, another Trainer's Mail, 4 VS Seeker, 4 Professor Sycamore, and bye-bye goes that Joltik. Gotta throw this out again. Come on. Level Ball. Is like everything prized? 2N, 1 Sycamore. We got 3 Sycamores in there. Man. Alright, well, we'll get out the Carbink here and hope there's nothing he can do. He's gonna have to find a Lysander. I'll attach the Fairy Energy. An Ultra Ball, I'd have to wait for 2 turns. So, he's going to have to dig for a Lysander now. But, I mean, we're just stalling as much as we can in this game. Trainer Mail again. Find that Lysander. Depends, whatever he wants to take. I'd take the Xerneas, to be honest. Yep, he's going to take the Xerneas. Ultra Ball. I mean, there's really absolutely nothing we can do in this game. We just drew terribly. We can't set up another Xerneas in 1 turn. I guess maybe if we don't draw Professor Sycamore off the next top deck, we lose. That's pretty clear right here. Maybe he forgets to attack us. I mean, it could happen. Going to super rod all this back into the deck. Attach another energy. And Psychic Infinity for the knockout, even with the Fighting Fury Belt. That's just enough. And we're going to throw up our Carbink. Yep, that's game. There's really absolutely nothing I can do. I mean, he's got a Lysander again, but maybe we bought another turn with the Carbink. And Parallel City. It's going to bring us down to 3 cards. That second Shaman being prized. So painful. VS Seeker for Lysander. Yep. There's nothing we can do in this game. We're just going to concede. And that's going to be it. Fairly short video, I guess. Shorter than the normal ones I do. But ooh, we got 253 coins. Let's go to the shop. We'll open one pack for you guys for the end of the video. Ooh, XY series 2-pack bundles. Xerneas. I think it's the Geomancy one. I don't think it's the Rainbow Force one. Yeah, I am in Canada now, so they have gems, which are like, I don't know. You can like actually go on and buy them, but they're ridiculous. They're so expensive. You should never buy gems. I really hope they don't. I really hope they don't. Yeah. You guys see all the packs I have. I'm not gonna. I don't open these. These are for trading. How I get the cards I use to. How I get the cards that I use to make my decks. So we're opening a Roaring Skies pack. Maybe it'll be nice and give us a Shaman. Nope, we got a Dragonite, but we got some other nice stuff in here. Cute Pikachu, an Inkay, and a double Dragon Energy, which is always nice. So there we go. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and stick around for more videos, and be sure to also check out my Pokemon TCG online playlist, which has all sorts of videos, including new decks for the 2016-17 standard format.